The Tape Never Lies Network.
The tape never lies. Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's gonna make everybody better.
Tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it.
Keeping it 100.
He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man in Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the fake and anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're mouthed up like the true and now and latest. Debaters, straws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unfair. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we lie, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it
man.
100.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping
man.
it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Keeping It 100 on the best four-letter network on the planet, the tape.
Fuck you, bullets.
Shane's been working hard with the AI, I see. But, again, we're going to wrap things up after this week. A rough loss on Sunday, as we all know. A lot of questions. We had the exit pressers today with Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. I'm sure we're going to get into that with the guys. But, we're just getting started here at TTNL. I'm starting to cut up tape. Phil's already looking into things. We just begun here. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring in the guys. Shane, the smartest man, Marshaw, and DDP, Draft Dr. Phil. What's up, boys?
Yo.
It's a weird feeling.
No games to look forward to.
Yeah, you're like, all right, it's Wednesday, hump day. We got a game coming up this weekend, so no game. It's what it feels like to be a Packers fan the last couple weeks. Man, it's just feels weird.
Which side of the line of scrimmage is Kay Adams on?
Whatever one is gonna get the most attention.
Is that her MO? Her and Kyle Brandt run by the same.
I guess so. I mean, just don't get too negative, Phil. They'll be screaming at people, telling them we're from Boston, for Christ's sake.
That douchebag is still running his mouth, worrying. Hilarious.
Yeah. Oh well, he's very important.
He's the capital.
Yeah, but yeah, it sucks, man. I kind of talked about it on BHL. It's just so instant, and it just irritated me that everybody just automatically defaulted to, oh, it was house money. We weren't supposed to be here anyway. It's like, no, man, you were at the fucking door, ready to fucking kick it in. Yeah, that shit should sting. That's got to linger for a little bit. I can't just be like, oh, we weren't supposed to be here. I'm just not built that way. And I will say this, and it's kind of a, credit to you, Phil, back in 2018, and the hoopla that was all surrounding that. And we had the defense and questions with Mitch. What makes this so different is if you go back and you watch TTNL, Phil was very, very critical of the head coach almost from game 4 or game 5 on. You saw the major flaws in the offense along the way, and the defense was there. The defense was ready-made, but this is different. It's on a whole different level. The enthusiasm, not that Ben doesn't have his warts, and he knows that, and that's what's important. He's not out there spouting, they didn't bring me here to run the I formation and all the nonsense like that. And you see how everybody's scattering from Matt Nagy now. I mean, imagine being the Kansas City Chiefs. They just essentially made their bed with him. It doesn't even look like he's going to get a head coaching gig. And Eric Bieniemy has already poached his job. So we'll see how that goes. I know I hope Philly hires him. Please, that'd be a Christmas gift come late for me. But this is just different because Ben knows his warts. I have full confidence that Ben's gonna, Ben said, he's like, I need to learn how to be a better play caller, or I need to be a better play caller. Priority in the offseason, learn how to catch the football. That's precise. That's concise talk from your head coach that as a rabid football fan, you want to hear. We were just talking pre-show, 9 dropped passes in an NFL football game. It's just, half of that is unacceptable.
Right.
And you lost by 3 in overtime. So
yeah, I saw a lot of Rams fans. Like, I never see this before, but Claudio's post, I just saw all these Rams fans jumping in there on his live video of the stadium, and they're just running their mouths like they beat us 35-3. And I'm sitting there like, listen, it is what it is. Today we got to witness a real coach stand at the podium, be authentic, own shit, look behind the curtain of truth, and kind of just not lambaste you with coach speak, but just in honesty. And to me, it just goes along with the journey that I've been, to piggyback off Shane. I told every TTNL person, even all the haters that watch and don't subscribe and take our stuff and write articles and shit, all of them were waiting. I would tell you by the 5th game if this guy's the real deal, and that being the head coach. And he did nothing he just continued to grow. Now, does he have his warts? Yes, all humans do. We all make mistakes. Honestly, and coaching and play calling is the hardest thing a coach could possibly do, to juggle all of that. And in his first year of doing it, he did a tremendous job. Now, we can all lay the blame on a lot of different things, but when you have 9 drops in a game,
that's
and
the story right there.
Promote the difference between winning and losing is catching and dropping the ball. I've stood by that for an eternity here of football on this show, and the old network staying that course, and it showed itself right in that playoff game. You catch those balls. If Rome Odunze catches that ball, it's a different game. You go down the seam and he catches the football, 3 of those catches by Loveland would help this football team. Just goes down that same path. So
I
to
think
see
there's-
him say we're going to be working on catching the ball, that's another freaking feather in his hat, because it's obvious. Just be honest with the obvious. Don't there's
Don't
a
be
lot of-
Buffalo. Don't
Don't
be
be
Buffalo.
Buffalo and lie.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of shitty meatball shit boy Bears fans. There are. There's a lot of them. It's pathetic, the flip-floppage in regards just to the quarterback for things like painted nails. Last time I checked, that shit doesn't matter. Last time I checked.
Let's talk to Coach JB.
He is still the biggest piece of trash on the planet. That coach, Jason Brown.
I agree.
Pathetic piece of garbage. Just never seen it. It's just a terrible human being. Like, this is how you run your show? If you don't know, check out a couple clips of this guy. You'll understand why it gets me so amped up, because it's so ignorant and so many levels of idiocracy that I can't even explain. But there's no truth and authenticity. There's just anger and let's go that course. So for me, it's very hard to move past what I believe we should have won by 10 points that game. And you're not there. So you're sitting at home.
You mentioned, we talk about the drops, and you said it, Phil, like, we'll make one more catch, things are different, but there's a lot of one more plays all around throughout the game. And I think and I talked to Big Steve yesterday about it. So I feel like that's something that this team needs to understand is you're one more play away from getting to the NFC title game. One more play, one more catch, one more tackle, one more right, decision coaching. It's just something that I feel like as the season progressed, you saw these flaws, continue to paramount. It's something that wouldn't go away, and it all just came back to bite them in the ass in a game where I think they played well. They held the number one offense to 17 points. They held Stafford to 0 touchdowns, 4 sacks. It's just one more play, and I think that's a young team still having to learn how to win, not only win in the regular season, but now win in the playoffs now that you got there.
Yeah, you're right, man. It's just it's hard to explain, like I said, because it stings so much. The finality of it, it's just so fast. And I heard Big Cat talk about it, and I heard some of the players talk about it in the stadium. It was just like completely silent, and all you could hear was the Rams players celebrating. It was like, no, there's got to be more to this. We gotta, there's no way that this magical ride can be over, but it is over. And I was
first and dropped. Sorry.
I was happy to, and I know we got some clips here that we're gonna play and talk about, but it just made my belief in Ben Johnson. I mean, go back to all of the bullshit and all of the haters leading up, and Ben wants nothing to do with Caleb. Ben doesn't believe in Caleb. Oh, Tyson Bagent signed an extension. This is all about they're just buying time so that they can move off of Caleb and bring in Tyson, and all of this nonsense. And listen to what your head coach said today. That is a man that has full belief, full commitment, full support behind QB1 in Chicago, the Hall, Caleb Williams. Him telling him, hey, I saw how hard you worked, how serious you took this. I need you to step away and get away from football a little bit. And here he is.
Said that too.
Here he is, and you can say, Phil and I talked about this privately today, and you can say that things like that don't matter. You feel the groundswell of special coming around Caleb Williams off the field in Chicago. You saw what happened at the United Center in the Jonathan Taves return to the UC when he was there. The very next night, him and PCA came back again. They're in the United Center for the Bulls game, Bulls versus Clippers. And I was watching some of the behind the scenes stuff of him walking into the Marriott Hotel in downtown Chicago, and it's just a pure fucking mob scene around the guy. It honestly, and Ivan, I know you were there, and I've heard Cars talk about it. I wasn't in Chicago for it, but you always heard them talking about the Bulls were just a show in and amongst themselves with MJ. It was like traveling with the Beatles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The bus would pull up to the hotel or anywhere, and there would be not 20 or 30 people. There'd be 400 people surrounding the bus. And it didn't matter if you were in Utah. It didn't matter if you were in Chicago, wherever you were. And this has already begun with Caleb Williams. And it's not just QB1 Chicago. It's NFL superstardom is what he is on the cusp of.
Well, I've converted a bunch of just Caleb, I would say haters and like borderline just didn't know whether he was going to be good or not. It would have just come over because I've been telling them and showing them. I've been telling them to come watch us and listen, and people have converted. And like just your point about those Bulls teams. Yeah, it was must watch. Like as a family, if the Bulls are on, the family would watch the Bulls. You know what I'm saying?
I used to record that shit and watch it back. Yeah,
you would. It was must watch TV, and this is the same feeling, to your point, Shane, that I'm getting with this Bears team. My family, everywhere, everybody's talking about Caleb. Everybody wants to watch the Bears. Yeah. They're must watch TV again.
Well, it starts with. And I'm sorry about this because I just wanted to be clear. It starts with the scouting and understanding. To Poles' credit, he saw what we did and not Swifty and his deleted tweets and his crew, that they all couldn't decide Fields versus Caleb.
Pancakes.
We looked at this. It was like a layup. It was so obvious. I know Greg Gabriel had inside information that he pretended to have, and the Notre Dame game stood out as some sort of battle cry against this guy. Let it be the end of all that shit. I just love a fan that said, thank you for pointing that shit out to me, because I know where Shane and I stood on Caleb Williams. And I know where I stood because I put my name to something. I put my voice on it. I don't delete shit. I just sat there and watched the reality of what I saw on tape, saying, this is what Chicago has never had. And we could go back. And I know Ivan, I've given him the green light. Go back. Go into the tape breakdowns. Take what you saw us say at the time, unafraid, unabridged, unburdened by anybody else's opinion. Didn't give a fuck what Adam Hogue thought. Didn't care. I didn't listen like a former TTNL. I don't listen to the crowd like I'm from Britain. I fucking say the truth. That's it. Boom. Now he is becoming the best quarterback in the NFL. That's the level that he's going, because you have a good talent, a great talent, and a great mindset and a championship mindset. And then you dumbed it down with the stupidest coaches you possibly can. At least he had the presence of mind to see the talent that Caleb was. That's Poles. He didn't see the coaching talent. Ben comes in here and understands how to start the foundation. And you see what is built in one fucking year under this guy. I don't know how anybody can hate on him. It's just pathetic, because he's literally showing you he's the best talent at quarterback in the entire fucking league. It's not up to debate. I said it to Shane today. I don't care. I've put my name on this all the time. Nobody's going to take that shit away. They can't. Nobody. It starts our show. Caden Whitlow, cut it. He is the best quarterback. That's from a show. That's from a show talking and preparing fans that were fucking annihilating us because of his nails, because he cried with his mom. Josh Allen fucking steps to the podium in tears, and he's going to fucking win a fucking tough guy award for it. The reality is the double standard, just like with the officials, happens with fans. And you got to stop fanning like that. Understand, talent trumps everything. Shane would use Dennis Rodman right in your fucking backyard as a showcase. People judge him. But did you love winning because of him? Every kind of odd character, and I don't, every woman I know is like, Caleb is so handsome or hot, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what these dudes are afraid of. Maybe they're intimidated by that, but Caleb Williams is in the conversation everywhere I go with everybody. From the neighbor to my fucking mother-in-law wants a Caleb Williams jersey.
When he just started following TTNL on Facebook today.
She's all into it because of Caleb Williams. It's so fucking pathetic that we're going to take shots at someone's office or their nails or anything they do. So when I tried to talk to Greg Braggs and tell him, Caleb Williams will make you where you were with the Cubs happy because you finally have a quarterback that can hit these people over the middle, outside the numbers, down the field. And it's playing itself out in a way that I honestly, that was the greatest throw behind his last greatest throw in the NFL.
Well, just like Mike
That's
Florio
a different
said,
level.
Caleb
Shane.
Williams has thrown two of the greatest passes in the history of the NFL in the playoffs, and he's only played in two playoff games. It's crazy.
Bro, it's crazy. That's why, no offense, I can say this because Shane read my mind in it. Like, I'm literally saying it, and he's texting it. I'm talking to Steph, and I'm like, I'm listening to Mike Tirico's broadcast of fucking Caleb making that throw. And then I listened to Jeff Joniak, and you would have thought fucking, what's our former colleague was doing the broadcast.
Yeah, it was very uninspiring.
Like, for what transpired? How? I don't give a fuck. If you have COVID, you have the flu, you have a headache, you are going to go to another level after that throw. And every fucking broadcast, the fucking Germans went fucking nuts. Did you hear the German broadcast though? And our hometown guy, Mr. Cocky himself, touchdown, he catches a touchdown, Caleb. It's like, touchdown, Cole Kmet.
I don't know how sick he was, but yeah.
But that's the thing, and I understand I could have COVID be fucking laying out flat, and if I saw that shit unfold as a fucking fan, which clearly, Joniak, you're the play-by-play guy of the Chicago Bears. Clearly, you have to be a fan. You forget about everything for 15 seconds in that moment. Back it up to even before him being. I thought he was underwhelming on previous calls.
Exactly.
In
That's why he doesn't get a pass. I forget who wrote me like, "Oh, he was sick." And I could give two fucks. Kerry Franklin was out in the fucking cold. I'm sure he fucking went crazy when that play. There's no excuse. I just Listen, we talk about the truth here. If it makes you fucking nervous, go listen to fucking Sunshines and Rainbows somewhere else. We're not going to hold anybody accountable. I just telling you, listen for yourself. Brian Harlan was doing the national broadcast. Listen to his emotion on it. Kevin Harlan, sorry. Listen to him. Listen to Tarico. Listen to the Spanish one. Telemundo's broadcast of it. Then listen to your hometown Jeff Joniak. Tell me there's not something to it. Something stinks there. I don't know. You're supposed to be the hometown broadcast. It's really sad, in my opinion, but I wanted to make sure I brought it up. It was like an episode of Stranger Things. I'm like, what is going on here? This doesn't make sense that just happened. And I was looking forward to it for the second time because the first one was our guy. What's his name?
Here's Kevin Harlan's call.
Timeout. It's 4th and 4 at the Ram 14. And in the gun is the quarterback, Caleb Williams. Looks into the nickel. Arms outstretched. 4th down and 4. 14 of the Rams. Shotgun snap. Goes back 4. 4-man rush. He's chased. He's flushed. He's all the way back to the 40. He's backpedaling and throws a pass into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Touchdown! Chicago has caught a touchdown pass with Cole Kmet open in the corner. If you hadn't seen it, you would not believe it.
That's a line right there. That's a line.
That's exactly. He didn't even know who fucking caught it. He's probably his spotter. Like, he's like, huh? It was unbelievable. I would. Can you pull up the Joniak call? Just
yeah, I
play
probably
the
can.
audio of it.
I should be able to.
Because I'm telling you, I could pull up the Tarico because I shared it on my.
Well, we all heard Tarico. Everybody was watching the fucking game.
You get the whole perspective. Yeah. Some guy probably doesn't. So let me just go to my home. I'm just playing the audio, Shane. I'm not sharing the video. So we're good. But here's.
Let's see if I can bring it up here.
He got it.
Couldn't hear a thing.
Touchdown.
Couldn't hear a thing, Phil.
You couldn't hear that?
No, I couldn't. Maybe you could.
I can hear it. Could you guys hear it?
I didn't hear anything.
Well, maybe I share my fucking Facebook.
Look at this guy. This guy wants the video of it, but
yeah,
I think he knows better.
I think he cried.
Yes, he did.
I think he cried. I guess you can't hear the audio of that.
Let me so can you hear that? You can hear the audio of this if I just don't add it, right?
Yeah. Just hit let me hear. You could share audio only.
Oh, I can't
hear anything right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. All right, just talk for a second and I'll get it.
Hear this tapping?
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't you hear my
I'm
audio?
not sure.
Well, when you go to share or present, share screen, and then can't you just do audio only? Or no? I got rid of that.
I think if I bring it up and then we just keep it up there, can't we just put us over top of that?
Yeah. Like that.
Right. And then I'll just play it.
Lofts a pass into the end zone.
No.
This is edited.
Go, Keepin, caught the ball. Touchdown. Left corner of the end zone. My goodness, the Iceman did it one more time.
Ooh.
I think it's more like he had a script,
Yeah.
what he wanted to say. And
Greg's more excited at the Taco Bell drive-through putting in his order, and Joniak was listening to a historic throw.
It's so odd that you guys couldn't hear the fucking. Can you hear that?
Yeah. It fades right away.
It fades out at when it gets the crowd.
But you get the point. It's
You
just
get
like I said, I was disappointed in Joniak's call. Harlan's was great. Tarico's was great. And I always listened to Vin Scully growing up, Dodgers games, and he's like, sometimes you just have to talk less and you let the images speak. And Tarico said what he had to say, and then he just shut up. And it was, it was poetry. It was beautiful.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And he came with passion. And that's all we were saying about that. Just wanted to make sure we got that out there. We got the 9 drops.
Yeah.
Something else we were talking about that I had a point to, but now I forgot but
let me bring this up, Bill, before we get into the other stuff. I'll bring it up here and we can listen to it. It's just
talk about Al Harris.
Yep. Interviewing with Green Bay today for their DC opening. He's expected to.
I was not expecting him to do that.
He's expected to interview in Washington also, to be there, DC. And don't forget, he worked with Dan Quinn when they were both in Dallas. So, and then Bieniemy became official in Kansas City, which to me is just funny overall, because it's like a Andy Reid's like, oh, this is our perfect opportunity to get Matt Nagy the fuck out of here, and hopefully he ends up in Philly.
Hopefully he does. Now, what are you going to play here?
This is some audio of JT O'Sullivan with what we were all critical about. Now he holds DJ Moore and Roma Dunze accountable on the very last pass, and this compliments of 670 the score, but this is pretty damning audio from JT O'Sullivan talking about the last play, and we said the same things live on BHL immediately after.
Film has always shown this. If you didn't want to believe it, you just didn't watch enough of it, because it's always been there. This is what it is. But man, we can't have it bleed into 15. Look at that pass protection, guys. This has got a chance for a massive play. Quit, jog, multiple quitters out there.
That's on Rome.
Just sickening. Sickening.
Wow, that's JT O'Sullivan talking about DJ, and also talking about Roma Dunze not going as hard as he could have gone on the deep pattern. If both of them are going 100 miles an hour, he's got 2 options with great pass protection to walk it off.
To win the game and move on to play Seattle. You have that. That's
damning, isn't it?
That goes hard. And
this
look,
is gross.
There's a history of this. Like, JT has not been shy
all season
about this, and
last
previous,
year too?
yeah,
And the year
absolutely.
before that.
Yeah,
previous season.
Alex, you've been watching JT for years. He's been on DJ for stuff like this.
I've been pretty consistent the last 2, and it has been a theme the last 2 years. Yes.
Yeah.
You get it. And I mean, JT Sullivan goes as far as to say, yeah, 2 can't be here next year. And so
That's
he's talking
what I was
about.
going to ask you.
Yep.
Because is there any way you can keep 2?
Yeah, you can keep him.
You think like the coach has some responsibility here, because this isn't 100%. A new thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
head
totally...
coach and the position coach, not just Antoine Randall. The head coach This is unacceptable.
Right. And so for people wondering, so a pre-June 1st trade of DJ Moore isn't super cap effective. You could do it a post June 1st trade, and it's much more financially digestible. If you do it before June 1st, you have $12 million in your dead cap for 2026, but you also have a savings of 16.5 million on your cap space for 2026. If you designate it a post June 1st trade, your dead cap for 2026 is down to 4 million, but then you have to make up the rest of that 12 million. So that leaves 8 million that you're going to carry over into 2027, and it gives you a cap savings for 2026 of $24.5 million by trading DJ Moore. And there is teams out there. Matt Harmon came out and specifically guaranteed today that DJ Moore would be in Buffalo catching passes from Josh Allen in 2026. That was interesting. You look at a team like the New York Giants, you look at a team like the Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, any place that's got a young quarterback. You could see DJ Moore being in play. And the thing about it is where I can see DJ staying, but also you have to put the radar lock on Rome Odunze's forehead. Rome needs to live up to being a top 10 pick, because to this point, he has not. He has not. In Washington, the one thing that you could count on with Rome Odunze was his hands, was his jump ball ability, was his contested catches. And those have been substandard in the NFL. And if you listen to any of the post season locker room talk, everybody brought it up to a person about how downtrodden Rome Odunze was with his play in 2025. And he should be. Bill and I told you during the season, and people didn't want to hear it, that he's dropping way too many balls. This was pre-injury. You look back to the Detroit game when the Bears were getting boat raced.
Believing us.
Greg Braggs, yes. Well, Caleb shouldn't have thrown those guys. He shouldn't have forced that.
What do you mean?
Greg
right in his fucking
There was a
hand.
couple on the Vikings game when Phil was there. The first game one, couple he dropped.
Oh yeah. Which caused
Well,
that.
you have to look at this, and if you look at Ryan Poles and listen to him today, I know we'll get into that a little bit, and Ben Johnson, is you have to clear the deck a little bit for Rome to fly, for Luther Burden to assume his role. Colston Loveland is going to be even more involved next year. Ja'Day Walker is going to be a part of this. And, oh, yeah, Ben Johnson is going to have another year here, and he is going to specifically handpick somebody in free agency that's not going to be super expensive, or in the draft at some point, and bring them along. For DJ Moore to be on your team and to be a $24 million third option at best in 26 isn't fiscally responsible. When you can listen, you're not going to, if you think you're going to get back a first or second round draft pick, you're not going to. You have to accept that. But you just, yeah, JJ is not a shutdown corner.
Greg's been striking out lately with us, but
yes.
I also want to say this, there's a certain level of player performance that when a player knows the ball is coming to them, they run. When they think a ball is going to someone else, they jog. That is unacceptable. Not in this offense when everything is based on a standard of running through your landmarks to get to where the quarterback is throwing anticipation all the time. And as Adam Rank, I thought Caleb can't throw with anticipation. Yes. Where did he get that from? The thousands of Bears fans that were regurgitating the same bullshit over and over. It just wasn't true. Now you're seeing firsthand what can happen when you throw an anticipation and your receiver does not run to where he's supposed to be anticipating. Then you get turnovers. So that's why when someone throws, he had 4 interceptions in the playoffs, I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to deal with here. This is the person with their complete lack of understanding football. When I look at DJ Moore, you can't question his toughness, but you can question his effort, his desire to be great in those moments. That's that moment that rises you to the top. And he has had some amazing moments. You know, someone will argue, well, you don't get there without DJ Moore. Yeah, he had a huge catch against Green Bay that was dropped right in his fucking hands, and that's his job. This is the thing. The job description for a receiver is to receive the football, catch it. Now, Rome was my number one receiver coming out of that draft. I know what I saw on tape. I know what I saw early in this season. I've seen it before. I don't know what is going on with the kid. Your foot doesn't affect your hands. So I don't use that excuse either. If you strap up, you better catch the fucking ball. That's the reality of the expectation. Don't come in here with your fucking boatload of excuses. Usually the same guys do that are the ones that give you shit about the quarterback. I don't layer any excuses for anybody. What fucking DJ Moore did on tape is unacceptable. It's honestly pathetic. I don't care if it's a new fucking concept. That's bullshit. Whoever said that, from the Bears to Parkins or whatever, guess what that play is? It's a deep over. Fucking, he runs through.
They run it all the fucking time.
Back, you come underneath that because the safety comes back. So you have all this open space that, guess what? Rome sprints. Rome did enough. I'm not even going to blame him. He did enough to get the guy out. This dude's jogging, not even looking at the quarterback. Once he gets to 15, he needs to snap, not even 15, 11, snap your head, look back at the quarterback as you identified that safety went back. You come underneath, and I'll show everybody, if you're a patron, this shit on tape. We'll go over it and over it so you understand. It's no different than a choice route. That guy made the choice for you. He went back. You go under, quarterback read it, boom. End of the day. That's the reality of what it is that he didn't do. And when you go home because somebody, A, wasn't giving effort, and B, mentally wasn't in it in the biggest moments, like, those things don't match up. And when you add the fact that you walked out of the locker room, you haven't answered any questions, you didn't talk to the quarterback, the best thing you could do in that situation is own it. I honestly could forgive him, but the reality is he hasn't. And that's a huge problem. And we've already, you saw it last year, how much loafing and shit like that. As I said, a zebra doesn't change his stripes.
And real quick, I know people in the chat are saying that Ben took accountability for, but that's a coach. That's what a coach does. He takes up his team's ass. He sticks up for his players. He takes the bullets. That's what he's doing. I mean, go look at it again and again and again. Was DJ hurt? I don't know. Was there miscommunication? Possibly. Regardless of that, that does not take away from the effort that he gave, and it wasn't enough.
Well, I appreciate that you're honored to listen to us. You could listen to us every week here with Ivan as well. And Ivan makes a great point. A real coach takes the ownership off his team. That's what your head coach did. But here, we're going to keep it 100. And DJ Moore fucked over his team in that one situation. This wasn't a fumble where you're getting popped, right? You're getting fucking popped and you're dropping the ball. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But one thing you can't do, I'm sorry, Shane.
Yeah.
Just like I tell every kid I coach, everybody is not going to be the tallest, fastest, not have the greatest hands, but every fucking one of you can hustle.
Oh, yeah.
That no one could go out there and loaf. You want to fucking loaf? You will be sitting right on the fucking bench.
It doesn't matter if you're in week 1 or if you're in a fucking preseason game. I don't give a shit where it is. You can't loaf. A fucking game on the line, playoff game in overtime, and you're going to do that? I don't know how. I don't know unless, listen, there's been talk out there that DJ was concussed and put out there, whatever. I'm not going to make excuses. You got to do your fucking job, man. Same with Rome. I think Rome has been a wild disappointment as a top 10 pick so far. He's made some nice plays. How are you dropping that football on the first series? How is it? How are you doing
the
that?
Fucking visor and catch the fucking ball. That's how. I just, even his hand placement, he's late. He's tracking, he's like sliding over. No, sit there, catch the ball.
People get so upset. Like I said, you go back to 2015 and when the Chicago Bears drafted Kevin White, fans are like, they think different, they think new is automatically better. All right, we have our wide receiver 1 for the next 10 years. I've talked about this 100 times. I understand it when sometimes when you draft somebody that fucking high and you come to the realization that it's just not going to fucking work out. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to swallow your fucking pride and be like, yeah, this ain't it. This isn't going to work out. And I'm not there with Rome. Rome still has time to turn it around. But just like JT O'Sullivan said, you don't want this shit creeping in to Rome.
I think
DJ's making $28 million. He's doing it and getting away with it, so I can. And listen, part of the shit that was going around last year, let's just be honest. There was lots of people saying behind the scenes that 3 people on the Chicago Bears were concerned about getting out of Hallis Hall as quick as possible and going and playing video games together. And the 3 names were Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and Caleb Williams. That was the big thing. Now, Caleb's pivoted. Caleb got the head coach. Caleb's grinding. Caleb's head coach said, I need you to get away from football for a little bit because you've poured so much into it. Now, you know what? Rome needs to come in Jesus meeting. And hopefully, and I have full faith that Ben isn't good. Ben didn't draft Rome. Don't forget that. There's not an allegiance there. Ben drafted Luther Burden. Ben drafted Colston Loveland. That shit happens. And if you go back to what I said on CHGO After Dark, when Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles today both came out and said, yeah, there's going to be some tough decisions that we have to make. There's going to be players on this team that you love, that you think are going to be part of the future, that are going to be gone. That's roster construction 101. And that's how it goes. And I'm not saying that they're going to trade Rome, but if the Vegas Raiders say I want Rome for Max Crosby, not saying that that's going to happen.
Well, he'd be gone because you got to get that defensive end guy that's a dominator.
And if anybody's worried about that ruining like the no, Ben said this.
Right.
Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
So if this happens, you could just,
Yeah, the locker
make
room's
it
going to
bad.
be ruined, right? Just like we nuked
Right.
it after trading Justin. Remember
Right.
We
that
traded
nonsense?
Justin.
Crashing the Lambo, yeah.
Yeah. DJ Moore was also very, what would we say, not really boisterous, but he was loud in his support for Fields prior to Caleb, and then last year loafing so much on tape. I mean, I called it out all the time that my concerns were there. And then a new coach comes in and is a new sheriff in town, and then you're looking at accountability and a standard, and you're seeing upgraded performances until there was some games early on where you questioned DJ Moore's effort.
I agree. And
running his own game.
I want to.
Ben's not dumb.
Right. I want to put this out there. I think it's very, very unlikely Rome is getting dealt. I do. I think DJ is going to be the one to go. There's going to be some other things made. I think it's very unlikely, but I don't think it's off the table. It's something that needs to talk about. If I was the GM and Phil was my head coach, we're having that talk. And it's not just going to be a cursory, oh, well, there's this, but let's go on. And no, we're going to sit down and we're going to crunch the numbers in the situation. Because like I said, it matters. Rome Odunze was not brought here by Ben. And I know that Ben has said that he loves him and loves the player that he is. But Rome needs to grow the fuck up. Rome needs to play football. Rome needs to quit worrying about other shit. And I'll be fucking honest, and you can take this whatever the fuck way you want. I would tell Rome, your dad ain't helping you. Tell him to fucking delete his X account. And I know that your dad can be his own man. That shit is doing nobody any good. Nobody, Rome.
There's two receivers there that need to be. I believe Rome is going to wake up from this. I felt like his accountability. Right. He answered the questions in the locker room, and I don't remember which reporter I asked him, "Are you okay?" Like he was giving off energetically how disappointed and embarrassed he was. It might have been after his meeting with the coach about his season and his effort. Maybe
they had the exit interviews before that. Yeah.
So he probably was still stung with the reality of and it's important. I still remember when David Montgomery and what was his name? The other running back came on the show and they talked about how enlightening it was.
Ryan Nall.
They were like, wow, we asked the coach to watch the tape as a team and hold us accountable, and we did it for the first time in November or October later.
So embarrassing.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, that was Nagy.
So it just fell in line with everything that I was concerned about, the coach and the team and accountability and a standard. There's no ability to hold someone accountable because of money in the NFL. What you have is their peers. That's the seesaw that a lot of people don't get. There's a standard. This is my standard. I'm going to love you. I'm going to praise you if you do it right. But we are going to watch the tape in front of everyone when you're not fucking blocking and you're not doing it right. No block, no rock. And you held to that standard. Let's watch a clip of Coach talking about his standard and what he plans about catching the football, which told me a lot about his authenticity and self-scouting already.
What happened to Shane?
Up these last two games in particular. Really proud of that. So physicality was the number one thing that we hang our hat on. Number two is being sound, playing sound football, being fundamentally sound, and being schematically sound. And I thought that showed up week in and week out. We still can get better in some areas. Like when I think about being fundamentally sound, we got to do a better job catching the football next year. And I can tell you right now, that'll be a point of emphasis for us when they come back in the springtime. But the last one was being a poised unit. And this is the one I'm most proud about. Just that ended up being our identity there for most of the season and showed up in the playoffs as well. Just we handled pressure better than most. And I think that's a credit to Ryan and the type of guys that he brought in. They're wired the right way. They thrive in those circumstances, and that showed up for us in a big way. Our coaching staff tried to apply pressure on them early on in the springtime and throughout training camp. And I'm not saying they grew numb to it, but it's almost like they embraced it and that they were at their best in those moments. And so those are the three things that we wanted to be about. And I think we brought that to light. We'll reassess as a coaching staff, where we need to go from here, but we got plenty of time to do that.
So you see, he had a standard, finding identity, looking at himself, obviously making an emphasis on we didn't live up to catching the ball, and we will address. I mean, you can't be more authentic. Right. It's the reality of all of us knowing. I know there's always going to be praise, even if a guy fucking did absolutely shit, but they're in a position like the GM. You're going to give them praise. Wade through all of that and look at what he just said. Their identity.
Yeah.
Poise, right? That means what? In the pressure's down. Everything's at a loss. You're losing.
So a couple of things here, and I'm not sure if you pulled the clip, but I'll bring it up anyway. And then I want to talk about Olin, what he had to say on DJ, because this all plays into it. And then Slick brings it up here too about DJ being concussed. So there was talk out there that DJ was concussed. And just so everybody knows how it works, listen, you can get your bell rung and you can show symptoms immediately. You can show them the next day. It's different for everybody. So just let me bring this up. And this is Olin put up this clip of DJ in the third quarter, and he thinks this is where DJ got hurt. And he thinks this is where he got concussed. And Olin pointed out, he said this time of year, the sidelines in Soldier Field, they don't have the heating coils in there on the sidelines. And he said, so the sidelines are like concrete. And this is where Olin thinks that DJ, everything started with DJ, was on this play here on the sideline, where he goes down and he hits his head real hard. So
yeah, that's when he went into the blue tent for a while.
Yeah, for a while, and then came back out. So listen, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that DJ was concussed. But again, so that becomes a coaching issue at that point. And you were already down Colston Loveland. And so, it is what it is.
This was a drop, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
A perfect throw. He got hit. You got to hang on to the fucking ball. Simple as that. That's your job. Ask Tom Waddle.
But so my point is the people that are holding DJ accountable for saying that he's not talking. So if there's any shred of truth to him potentially having a concussion, and who knows when his symptoms showed up, if he had a concussion, they're not going to let him talk to the media.
Well, they didn't list him as injured. He's out in the game.
They don't have to list. They don't have to list him as injured, Phil. He came back and played in the game.
And he's not concussed.
How do you know?
Independent neurologist can't put that kid out there. That's how.
Phil, my point is not everybody shows what I just said. Not everybody shows symptoms of a concussion immediately. Look at Jaquan Brisker. Jaquan Brisker had that, and his didn't show up until like the next day or 2 days later after he woke up. Everybody is different. And listen, I'm not defending DJ. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for there to be some validity to this, that he's potentially concussed, and that's why he didn't talk to the media.
Well, all I could say is if he's concussed, he should be on the sideline. Simple as that.
Right, but Creighton, you can have if he's not showing symptoms, is the point.
Well, the symptom
and everybody is
him
different.
jogging, loafing his route.
And they can't do that in the medical tent.
I'm saying that play didn't happen on the last drive. He came back in and played. When did that drop happen in like
that? That was in the third quarter.
Yeah, third quarter. This is
But he was in the tent for quite a long time.
This is like an hour and 20 minutes later.
No.
Yeah.
No, that third quarter flew by in that game.
That
it wasn't an hour and 20 minutes.
Took a long fucking time. But irregardless of that, if he's out there concussed, that's on the fucking Bears. You don't put someone that's gonna.
That's what I just said.
Or him. I can't even go there. There's no way the independent neurologist is putting someone out there. Just not. I just have to believe that.
And so, but the other thing that I want to say is that Ben brought up, which I think is absolutely critical, because there was two major things that I took away. One in Ryan Poles, and then one with Ben. Was Ben said
makes the point very well. To combat years we're guessing he's concussed.
No, I'm just
he's got a history of doing this.
Right.
Concussed all the time.
No,
You know what I'm
he's
saying?
not. I literally said that. I said that. He's got a history of it. I'm just saying I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
He like just said that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that because I was so
I'm just saying.
This is another one. You took your best weapon out concussed.
But holy fuck, how many times do I have to say that? Every concussion is different for everybody. It's not like, all right, you got hit, you're going to have the same fucking exact reaction as Phil, as Angelo is. It's everybody's different. Holy shit, it's not that difficult to realize.
Their initial reaction isn't. There's tests that will say concussed that they go through. So they all have the similar symptom pattern. That's why the independent one is there.
But Phil,
it's either the pupils are dilated.
Everybody's symptoms show up different. It's not standard. It's not a fucking blueprint.
There's several tests I'm saying that are a standard that you have to pass.
Are you telling me that every fucking person in the NFL, since they've had the independent neurologist, nobody has been out there fucking bullshit? That's bullshit. It's happened.
I just know they pulled Loveland out of the game.
Are you going to be more cautious with Colston Loveland or DJ Moore? Let's just keep it 100. You're going to be more cautious with Colston.
I would be. As a coach, get Colston in there. We need him to catch.
But you're going to be more cautious with him, is my point. And I know that sounds horrible, but the NFL is pretty fucking cutthroat. I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to defend DJ. I think he should be traded. I think he should be off the team. I get it. I was the one talking about the Buffalo story that I was 4 feet from. There was issues. I get it. I think that there can absolutely be some validity to this. I do. 100%. He could.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't think that they would let him go out there if that was the case. That's.
But he could
I'm
have
thinking of him. I'm just saying
he could have passed protocol.
Yeah, but again,
And
it
then
was the third
symptoms
quarter.
showed up.
His symptoms show up on the final play of the game.
No, Phil, but listen,
No, the loaf.
we
That's where people are gonna
right.
use
All right, but
this
so it's in the
shield.
third quarter. How many more fucking snaps? Maybe he got, let's just say he got 20 more snaps after that. Maybe on snap 17, somebody cracked him in the fucking head. And he's like, oh shit. I'm scrambled here a little bit. And he didn't go back into the medical tent. He's like, oh fuck, we're down Colston. I need to be out here. I think that there can be truth to this.
There could be a guy could. I'm definitely not saying that can't be.
But again, the same thing is
I
why the
still-
fuck is Rome loafing on the same thing? It's like I said. What did I say on After Dark? I know that people love Antoine Randall L. and he's loud and people think he's cool and shit. If he's the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to give exactly 0 fucks. To me, the wide receivers overall underperformed this year.
The coach said that.
Yeah.
I'm not rage baiting anything. My belief is a zebra doesn't take his stripes, Kinnan Bond. That's why I don't buy into that he was concussed. That's why he was loafing. That's my stance. I don't buy it.
But and right here,
I
Logan,
can't say
Logan,
there
he
isn't a
did
chance that it isn't true.
DJ did not run hard vertically. The entirety of the route was
No, he
at
jogged
fucking
the whole way.
40%.
Totally agree with you
The
there.
entirety of it.
And honestly, if you've watched this show, this isn't new critique of DJ Moore. DJ Moore, like I said, some players perform when they know the ball is coming their way. When it's not, there's been showcases that anybody that's a patron will tell you that I've pointed out DJ Moore many times, not hustling, not making the concerted extra effort block. And it's weird because it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in regards to a warrior on one level and then a loafer on another. It's the weirdest thing for me. So what does that say? To me, goodbye. I can't figure you out, but I have a standard. You better do that standard. The whole team needs that. It can't be just the catch in Cleveland in the back of the end zone.
Right.
That effort's got to be there on every fucking play. Do you think, irregardless of injury, whatever, do you think Amon-Ra St. Brown makes that play?
Yeah, I do.
I would be willing to bet my whole life.
I think Luther Burden makes the play. I think Colston Loveland makes the play. And I understand Colston Loveland had his probably his toughest game as a rookie. I would bet 10K cash right now that if the Bears have Colston Loveland on the field in overtime, the Bears win the football game. Just the way that I feel. I really do. But I brought up a thing that I had 2 points and I think it's critical and I'm not sure if you cut it, but I want to make sure we don't forget it with what Ben Johnson said. He said, I hear a lot of my players say that this was the toughest training camp that they've ever been a part of. And that there wasn't anything out of the ordinary for me. That was just normal to me.
Yeah.
And that is fucking fantastic to me to hear, because this is what we've been wanting. And this is what we've been preaching for years. Nagy was all fake and false bravado. Oh, we got to become calloused. And then I'm going to put you guys in incubators and protect you from yourselves. No, that's not the way that it works. It's not. What did Ben say that one day in camp? Our practice, or no, I guess it wasn't in camp. It might have been earlier in the season. To this point, our practice habits are not championship caliber.
Yeah.
That's a direct fucking shot at not just the players, at the coaching staff.
I think.
And when Ben calls his wide receivers out saying that they underperformed, that's not just a shot at Rome and DJ and Luther and Jade Walker, because Luther Burden didn't get playing time as much as we expected early, especially because he had an issue learning the playbook. Jade Walker, it was an issue all year long and why he wasn't on the field late. But that's not just a shot at the wide receivers. That is a direct fucking shot at the assistant head coach of your entire football team and your wide receivers coach in Antoine Randall. It is. It's a fucking shot at him. And that's why I respect Ben Johnson more today than I did yesterday, because he came with Ben. That was the number one guy that he wanted to bring with him from Detroit. And he sent him a loud and clear fucking message today that what you're doing with these huge investments that we've made at this position as a team, it's not fucking good enough. And what's our priority in the offseason? Learning how to catch the football. Basics. And you're not doing a good enough job. Hire him, Pittsburgh. Hire him. I'm good with it.
Is he getting an interview there as a head coach?
Yeah, he's supposed
He
to,
is.
yeah.
Wow. Well, Ben Johnson said a lot, even in that last clip. His standard, his identity, he told you, poise, meaning in the critical most moments, our football team is going to be locked in and ready to play. That did not happen on that last play to end your whole season. And honestly, we should be all excited about the Bears playing the fucking Seahawks. I'll go to my grave knowing you had that game won. Coaching errors, drops, play calls, all of that. Center getting fucking folded in half several fucking times, getting his ass served to him. And we're going to break all that down. But let's hear him talk about his quarterback here.
What's the focus on with Caleb going into the offseason?
We'll circle back on that. We had a good exit interview. My main message to him was he needs to get out of football for a little bit. He's done a phenomenal job in terms of staying focused all year long. He put a lot of time, a lot of effort. I thought he grew up as a professional. I thought his communication to the coaching staff grew. I thought his communication to his teammates grew. But we will certainly have a number of points of emphasis that he can dive into when he comes back this springtime. But it's important for really all of us, coaches, players, support. We get away for a little bit. We hit the reset button. I think everyone needs that here at this point. The things that we highlighted for Caleb to start the season, I did think they improved as the season went along. We revamped the footwork a little bit last spring, and I think the comfort level grew from that. He certainly got more comfortable with the concepts that we were running over the course of the season. That's something that we can build upon, and yet there's still a lot more that we can push through in that regard. And so I'm really encouraged about the steps he took this year. I'm Caleb Williams' number one believer. I have a lot of faith in him, what he's capable of doing, and the player that he's still striving to become.
Well, I would argue that I was his number one believer before you, Ben. Okay. But, I mean, is that a destructive Thor smash over every Bears fan that had a doubt about Caleb Williams?
Is Ben going back and looking at these numbers from post Notre Dame and being like, yeah, I can't win with that? I'll keep this for the entirety of TTNL. I'll have this card here, and I'll never move it, because I said the amount of bullshit and toxic nonsense that's been put out there about this kid, non-football related, is bad. I mean, Lawrence Holmes talked about it. He's talking about, I wanted the Bears to to invest in
Get the
proper
hall.
coaching around Justin Fields and bring in more weapons for Justin and see what could have happened, because there was things that I heard. It's all, say what you heard. I know what you heard. You heard the same bullshit that Greg Gabriel heard. You heard the same bullshit that everybody that didn't like Caleb heard and automatically fucking defaulted to. And by the way, believed. And none of it was true. How fucking dumb does Tyler Dunn look now? Where's that guy? CHGO should call him back up and have him on for a follow-up.
Emergency podcast. Where are you now, Tyler Dune?
Remember the wording?
I just laugh at
the
Swifty
glitzy gazelle. The glitzy
deleting
gazelle.
his tweets. Shane did some research, and Swifty had Cap on. And I'm sorry, I'm bringing this up not because of the person, like he tries to say. It's because of the action. You see the difference? He unlisted a show where he's going at Cap, who had just been on our show the night before with us, and this is prior to the draft, about we're going all in on Caleb. Chase greatness. Go in. Justin will be traded. No, he won't. And there perceives this show where he and Cap are going back and forth, and he's just burying Caleb. And thus it's no longer on. So sorry, Swifty. The reality that I'm bringing you up is how I would bring up anybody that decided to delete their tweets about Caleb Williams because you were wrong and not being a man and saying it. And because you unlisted a show where you're talking about how bad Caleb is and can't do it in the NFL.
He said it to private, but it's the same thing. And this that's what I said. And listen, you can pivot.
Who's Loho?
Lawrence Holmes. You can pivot. That's part of it.
The best thing is when you do pivot, you own it. I was wrong. That's the authenticity.
But I don't want to hear
ourselves out there. I don't want to hear that you always liked them. You didn't.
I don't want to hear from people that were against Caleb that, well, this is what they defaulted to. Well, I was told some things. I'm not going to get into them. I'm not going to tell you what I heard.
Exactly.
But they're very concerning. We know what it was. It's the same shit that people talk about now. Dumbasses like Jason Brown, the coach, calling him Caleb and all of that bullshit. None of it is football at all. There's reasons why they don't like him. That's the shit that you heard. Because he got emotional with his mom. Because he likes to paint his nails. Because he's into fashion. Because he made $10 million at USC. Who gives a fuck? None of it matters. Is he a good human? Yeah. By the way, he's up for a major NFL community service award, by the way. Is anybody talking about it? No, they're not.
Yeah, Sean King, Illini. Yep, coming on there. Shane, I believe, I begged Shane, get the slideshow ready with all the cult and all the hate and all the bullshit and just own your shit. That's it. I have done it many times in regards to the shit I've stepped in. But don't try to paint us as bullies. I'm just calling it out and educating people from being misinformed by frauds that are going to say they always did. No, you didn't. I have so much respect for people. I forgive like this, but I'll hold a fucking grudge for the rest of my life if you lie about your shit.
Scottish Bear is Cap wasn't the night before, he was the night after. that he came on with us, that he was on with Swift. It was the next day.
Really? I thought he was with us.
It might have been the same day.
then-
It wasn't the night. It wasn't the night previous. No.
That's what I meant. We were on with Cap first. Then the next day.
No. He was on after with us.
Really?
Yeah, because that was one of Swifty's things, saying that Cap went on our show and railroaded him for 3. That was what he always says. He says we do our entire show about him only, and he's living rent free. Whatever. It's fine.
Does everyone understand why we class? Does everyone understand why we bring people up?
We bring up lots of people. We've talked about Herb Howard, and Herb Howard was upset with Phil and everything. It's whatever. We're using people's names and people don't enjoy it. It's just that's the way that we've done it. And listen, we were in one lane with Caleb. We did more work than anybody on Caleb. We showed everybody what they were saying about Caleb on the you can't play under center because there's no snaps that you can find of him playing under center at USC. So what did we do? If you were a TTNL patron, we showed you those snaps. Oh, he was horrible, according to Greg Gabriel. After he was not the same quarterback after Notre Dame, just wasn't. Got the numbers right here. Not only do we have the numbers, we showed you every snap that game after on all 22. Showed you why that was a fraudulent claim. We showed you why. We did it. We did the work. We didn't waver.
I know where we stand. I'm taking a different approach and just being so transparent because I'm not going to let misinformation go in a world full of that shit. Full of it. I mean, we're up to the point where we're allowing literal pictures of players, quotes from the player that AI created, that whatever fucking idiot is in their basement saying, can you make this person say that, put it in a quote, whatever they're doing. And people are running with that, believing it. I don't want that shit. Not in football. Save that shit for whatever else. Fucking movies, soccer, don't give a fuck. Not football. Not the Bears. We're not going to be misinformed. If you watched After Dark, I gave fucking George McCaskey some flowers.
Yeah.
This is the reality of where things are. I'm not wrong about George. George is fucking changing course. He's turning the fucking wheel. And that's a good thing. And when you start doing good things, you don't deserve to be picked on. So all I'm trying to say is the reality of truth in regards to what Shane, Ivan cut all that tape of Caleb for me because I was dealing with so much. I still remember it. And like we went back to his junior year.
Yeah. Yeah, we intentionally
went to
Oklahoma. We had a three-part saga. It was a three-part series.
We intentionally didn't show the Heisman year.
Yes. We intentionally did not show the Heisman year at first. We showed Oklahoma, USC. Then we showed the Heisman year. And it was a 4-part series because then the Notre Dame shit came into play. And we were like, oh, wait a second. Why don't we just watch the entire Notre Dame game? Because if you watch the second half of those interceptions, and 2 of those interceptions were tipped balls, then you see Caleb Williams. It just doesn't change. So I'm sorry, we have to stand for that because you have a manipulation of truth, whether it be on social media, where those TTNL guys, they're picking on me. No. I'm fucking calling a liar a liar. just doing the truth. Shane has all the receipts of this kind of behavior. And I know where, as Steven too, thank you, can tell. That was my whole desire in the first overall pick is Shane on that show saying, well, Phil, I know you want him to do his due diligence here on Bryce Young in this quarterback class, but you know what they have. They could trade down, get a first next year, and then they get your boy.
They get an extra bullet for
To
Caleb.
get your boy for Caleb. And that was the light bulb show that we called it, because then I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I can wait another year. I'm telling you right now, Justin ain't it. And it ain't going to get better.
But that's the thing, Phil, and we saw so many people. And listen, there's people on X that I respect, completely disagree with sometimes. There was people that were mad at us because when we wanted to move off of Justin, it was because he was still the Chicago Bears quarterback. He's still wearing the Bears jersey. No, we want what's best for the Bears. You have to remove listen, Justin is probably a great person if you just knew him away from football. Never met him that way. I'm just saying.
Do you remember that Falcons game, the last game? I think it was a Christmas game I went to, and I remember telling you guys like the atmosphere was great. The Bears won, Justin played well, everything was great. Nothing in that game changed my mind from going off of Justin and moving forward with Caleb Williams. Even with all that, and it was elected, it was on fire. Soldier Field was.
We're bringing it up because it's the past history of
It's how we got here today, and we're talking about what we went through to get here. Nobody took more bullets than TTNL.
Well, I'm glad he did this. I'm glad. You know why? Because it trumps another statement that I was about to make. Why we're doing this too? Talking about it's the coach tells you. And I'm sitting here. I don't know that there's a better talent at quarterback in the NFL. After what we've seen this past year, like he helped Ben. Let's keep that 100. He covered Ben's ass with a lot of these fucking plays he made. So this kid and Ben and their relationship is like gas for the car. Now Caleb's driving, but we bring this all up because we lost friends.
Yeah, we did.
We lost people that were here, TTNL fans and members that worked here, you know, music guy, Cool Kennedy bounced because we were not showing Justin the love. I can't believe, and just just disappeared. Never even took a call. Like we dealt with a lot of shit that I wasn't even expecting. Like this is football. It's black and white for me on the screen. It's like so obvious, but no. So as much as some people are going to sit in their fucking comfy chair tonight, how could anybody question Kayla? Trust me, it was therapy sometimes to talk to Matt Waldman. Like, Matt, how could people? He's like, you got to understand, Phil. People just believe what they're told.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone has a title or a cushy gig, they believe it. They don't know it like you. So never back down from telling and showing your truth. And that's true. And I had conversations like that with Shane. Like my brain couldn't process. Am I not doing enough to show that Caleb is the best move for the Bears? Because you know what? It wasn't about hate, anger, want to be right. It was about wanting the Bears to fucking win. And I will take a bow because you saw what Caleb Williams can do, and thus you are winning because of that quarterback. And no one could take that away from Shane or myself or Ivan anybody that stood in this pocket, and I know some of you fans were there, but it's different when you're standing in front of an audience, hundreds and thousands and millions of views and comments and threats and bullshit happens, and you're relieved because this is the finale for us. This is the end of year one of Caleb with a real coach and the Bears with a real quarterback. And that's why we're putting thoughts on Justin Fields and the Civil War, and then Sean Sierra taking a certain 4-letter podcast or network says that never that. These are people I knew and liked. And then, we're thrown out like, because some people, as Shane has said it, he says it in the show, I don't want to hear your tape or see your tape breakdown if you can't be critical of the fucking team that you're cheering for.
Right.
That's where that comes. That's at Barelissimo. You want to be transparent? I'm just going to go with the crowd. I can't be an antagonist of my truth against the crowd. That's not how we act here. Like, me and Shane will get into a debate about Cole Kmet. Argument.
Yeah. 9-1. It's fine. Phil accepts it. Woody, do you have any more? Do you have any more clips from Ben?
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll do those, and then
I think you get the clip about training camp.
You said there's a lot of work to do. It's going to be more difficult. Besides Caleb, what gives you confidence that you guys are going to be able to build off this and that
there is no building off of this. We go back to square one. We're back at the bottom again, and that's really all 32 teams. If you feel otherwise, you're probably missing the big picture. We're back at. We got to start from scratch. We got to start from the fundamentals. A lot of guys talked about how difficult this training camp was. I didn't feel like it was anything out of my ordinary. They know what the expectation is. They know what the process is that we believe in as a coaching staff. And so I think more than anything else, they're going to know what they're getting themselves into. And yet we got to dig a little bit deeper. We got to work a little bit harder. We got to give a little bit more if we want to take this thing over the top. I mean, it's no different. You're trying to lose weight. You're trying to lose 50 pounds. The first 30 is the easiest 30. The last 20, that's the hard part. And so we did a nice job this year, but it's not enough. We got to do more.
Love it.
How could you not love that? Like, that is setting a standard of the expectation. And the reality is,
Slick, that's us, bro. We played it here. That's my guy, Maddox.
Maddox. I think another dude made an Iceman song.
Oh, there is, but
not as good as Maddox's song. Yeah.
We can close the show with it, but it's available on all music outlets.
I know I got to talk to Maddox about doing some music. I'm putting this out. If you have a talent, editing, video, I'm looking, Shane and we're looking for people. I want someone to do those reels for us and be serious about that and keep the history. I know a lot of teens and youngins love to scroll and just see 25 seconds. I need someone that highlights a 3-hour show and kind of put it into perspective. If you could do that, I want more music people. I love music, hip hop, country. I don't give a fuck. Whatever your talent is. I wanted to put a fucking TTNL band together at one point. Right? So if you could do that, good.
Charlie makes grilled cheese. Do we need that here?
Well, if we're on, I remember this dude made me a fucking amazing breakfast sandwich when I went to the first and 10 tailgate. Greg didn't treat me as nice at the CHGO tailgate as that dude. Made me my personal fucking breakfast sandwich. Ron G was bringing fucking blunts. It was a great day.
Do you have any more clips, or was that the last one?
Well, I just want to finish, and what he was saying is setting a standard that this ain't going to change. It's only going to be harder. So if you want to get the fuck out of town, do it. And I hope Trevon Dexter gets the fucking message as well.
Oof, he does.
All right, let me see. The last clip.
Ben, you just touched on it a little bit. What's your process going to look like for evaluating the job you did in year one, maybe looking at what you think you did well, what you can improve on?
Yeah, I mean, we will always dive into the self-scout process as a coaching staff. We have a ton of decisions to make with the roster. I think it always starts with making sure you're accurate on the evaluations of your own and how well they fit what you're asking them to do, and whether it's someone you want to continue to move forward with or not. And I think now we're just at a much better position as a coaching staff in going into this season, just knowing who our guys are and what they'll end up being able to contribute for us in the future. And so we got to nail those. That'll be the number one objective when we come back from a little bit of a break. And I got a lot of confidence that we'll be able to get this thing right. But the self-scout process that'll occur. I mean, we got a whole off-season agenda. I know I like to think that we don't do a whole lot, but like the off-season is a whole new season of its own. So our coaching staff they need a little break themselves, and I know we'll come back renewed and ready to go.
There you go. Self-scout. That's the most important thing, Shane.
Yeah, 100%.
As he gets ready to look at who's staying and who's fucking going.
Yeah. As we get
Slick
ready to head to the...
They aren't trading DJ. Shane is saying they are trading DJ. Where's your number on DJ?
I can see both. I think it's 100% on the table, and I can see them keeping him. I can. It just depends on, listen, we know that the Bears need to free up money. The Bears need to make some moves. The Bears need to bring in defensive linemen. There's no way around it. And you're going to have to get creative with some stuff. You're going to have to push some money into the future by reworking some deals, mainly, like a Joe Tooney or a Montez Sweat or even a DJ Moore if you're keeping him. That's how that works. I think Cole Kmet's going to get an extension. I think that's 100% going to happen. And it's going to lower his number to keep him here. Again, he's 26 years old. So he's going to be a part of this moving forward, and he's not going to be Colston Loveland led your team in receiving this year. Do people realize that? He was your leading receiver this year. Colston Loveland. What do you think he's going to do in year two? He had the most.
We could say he was wrong. We were wrong about Loveland.
Well, we weren't wrong about Loveland. We were wrong about the process that we didn't agree with. I had Colston Loveland as my tight end one. I wasn't wrong about the player. I loved the player. I just didn't love the process because I just saw the glaring hole. Yeah, and I admitted it. Yeah.
He lived up to the 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
Because my standard was you better be fucking Brock Bowers like.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if he was going to be that in year one, especially with the giant need as a pass rusher. But this dude became Mr. Clutch, and it's terrible that in the last game he had his worst game and got hurt. But own it right there. Guy set a precedence of what type of dog he is and a separator at the stem. Loveland is looking like a goddamn future number one tight end in the NFL. That's how high I could see him rising. His route tree, his getting to the spot, the understanding of his hand-eye coordination, his catch with his eyes and his hands, his run after the catch, his athletic ability, his toughness. He showed it all on the field. And kudos to Ben Johnson
and
them for setting that precedence. And that's where I stand on that. So you asked, we gotta hope Ben knows what he's doing.
Right.
And you said it. This is 100% Ben Johnson's pick.
Oh,
and you're 100% right.
Yeah.
If you watch that draft coverage.
Oh, no doubt. I just watched the replay of the pick. Might have been
Did you?
today even, and just Ben rocking back and forth in this chair. He's like, we're cooking with grease now. You are exactly what I need in this offense. And you just, knowing what you know now and going back and watching it, you're like, oh yeah, I can see even more how excited that he was. And if you look at some of the behind the scenes stuff, Ben told Colston the day that he came to Hallis Hall, he's like, yesterday morning I was banging the table, hey, don't forget Loveland, so it is what it is. But I know we're not going to jump into the Ryan Poles stuff. Was pretty, I don't know, pretty vanilla, like Ryan Poles is with everything. But one thing that he did take away, and this is a massive comment that he made that I think went under the table with a lot of people, is when Courtney asked him about Ozzie Trapillo, his exact wording was, yes, I could see us I don't have a timetable, but I would expect to not see him until deep into next season.
You're right. He did say deep.
And so that is huge. Now your priorities in the off season are getting pushed up, or if there's a left tackle that falls into your lap at number 25, they shouldn't have dropped. That becomes 100% a place that you can go. And listen, it sucks. I think Ozzie Trapillo overall exceeded my expectations big time with how he pivoted at left tackle.
He wasn't perfect, but he had strength at the point and a little bit more athleticism and the ability to learn technique than I expected in year one.
And that's the thing. If you're going to be deep into next season, the move is probably to just be without him for the entirety of the season for the overall health of Ozzie Trapillo.
He also said that Zay is going to come back healthy. Karan Amagaji would be back. And there was one other player that he said would be back.
Deo.
Oh, yeah, Deo. But Amagaji is a guy that I know a lot of people are down on or whatever, but I don't know what the exact injury was that held him out the whole year. So,
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how he responds, or is he a part of the future in the spring and into training camp? But obviously, we will be breaking down offensive tackles again.
Yep.
Like we did last year on our draft mob coverage. If you're not a patron, you're going to want to be one this offseason, because TTNL continues their streak in regards to the draft. And
I listen, we're not going to get into contracts and free agent stuff. There will be a Cars Keys tomorrow night for people. So we're going to break down some contracts and people that could be gone, people that could restructure, people that may get traded. So if you're into that, tune in tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. East, where Cars and I will be live talking about that. But I understand Jaquan Brisker is coming off his best game overall as a Bear. I can't see investing into Jaquan other than a 1-year deal. And somebody is going to pay Jaquan Brisker more than I think the Bears are going to feel comfortable, just because he's young. He was a 2nd-round pick, and somebody's going to take a chance on him. I don't see Jaquan back in Chicago.
I'm with you. I feel like when your performance has been a certain way the entire year, and then you perform better when it's almost over, it becomes a little nervousness for me to extend you, because what are we playing for? Now they're there every day knowing the guy. But from what I've seen, he's always been in the wrong place. He failed to tackle the way you wanted, and the way you basically saw him play is what you expected him. So it's one of those things you have to understand the man. Ben and Dennis Allen and those coaches are going to have to understand, is this based on wanting a big payday and then the lackadaisical comes into play, or is this guy finally waking up to the talent that I saw that he had coming out of Penn State? That's really a difficult one, but I'm of the belief that zebras don't change their stripes. And when you have someone playing on a contract year and we've seen it so many times where guys play really great in the contract year, but not once they get paid. So is it too little too late for Brisker? I'm with Shane.
Yeah.
I need to find a killer. That means Byard, who Poles pointed out.
Your 4 top safety. Byard's going to be back. Ryan Poles called him out by name of a person that they want back. Byard wants to be back. It's not going to be a franchise-altering deal. I mean, he's going to be, 33, or he's 33 years old right now. And so, listen, that's you're on the brink of that cliff where you could fall off of it real quick and be a completely different player. But I just think he brings a locker room and a respect to this team. I think he's critical to bring back. I think CJ Gardner-Johnson is a guy that sat out there. I'm giving him a 1-year deal to come back. I don't think it's anything that you have to invest too heavily in, but absolutely. I just think he's another guy that's familiar with the scheme, familiar with Dennis Allen. Is he perfect? No, he's not. But I think he's a guy that you can move around in that Jaquan Brisker role, where you saw, to Phil's credit, Phil bringing up of where he should be playing more of that hybrid safety / linebacker role. And you saw Jaquan thrive in that. Now, maybe the Bears look at that and say, we're going to do permanently with him. I don't think they're going to. I think
my level of trust in Brisker is similar
low.
to Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. I think Tremaine is, I'm sure Cars will get into contracts and that stuff. Tremaine Edmonds is someone I think you got to move off of. And DeMarco Jackson is someone I'm like in the must re-sign category. I'm like, that dude. I mean, you gave me a great stat where
is the number 2 coverage linebacker number 2 coverage linebacker in the NFL, according to our favorite PFF, for all NFL players with a minimum of 350 snaps. The number 2 coverage linebacker, and he made a hell of a play in the playoff game that I thought that Tremaine Edmonds was going to pick if he would have been hustling.
If he hustled, he easily picks that ball off. It's lobbed in the air.
Yep.
You know how
if you're a TTNL lifer, you knew who DeMarco Jackson was from our Draft Mob series. He's one of the first players that we interviewed live on air with our Draft Mob series way back in the day leading into that draft, where DeMarco was on with us live.
He would be the first guy I'd have a conversation with. It's no coincidence the Bears played really well against the Rams when he's in there. It's not.
Yeah, and it's gonna be nothing to extend him and bring him back.
I would want to show him some love. Like, we appreciate. I want you to have a future here. You found a home here and you really understand Dennis's system, but you could see his instincts and his ability to flow, scrape, deliver, and get to the football. I mean, even his blitzing was better than every single one of those linebackers. Every one. And it gave me pause. I'll say this at the end of the year, that Dennis Allen put Noah Sewell back in over him on top of Tremaine Edmonds over him. He still put Noah Sewell over him.
And we're not done with the Sewells. The Bears signed
another Sewell,
Noah's older brother.
Yes, I saw.
Just signed him to a futures deal. Yeah, he was on our practice squad. Yep, I'm just looking him up. Neffy Sewell, 6 foot 228, 27 years old,
Ivan
out of
calls
Utah.
his nephews, little Neffy.
Little Neffy.
I think he called Sean Sierra that too. I don't.
No, that was Mutter.
Oh,
Mutter. Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
But DeMarco is a must resign. Him and Byard. When's Dexter's deal? He's still on a rookie deal.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. I mean,
he's still on a rookie deal.
Yeah, you're gonna hold him accountable and see.
Work with him,
right?
Gotta hold him accountable because
you don't move off of Javon Deck. Listen, is he perfect?
D tackle.
He's on a rookie. He's on a rookie contract. Yeah, it's foolish. It's 100% bad business. Because he's got, listen, you got to coach him up better. You have to use every ounce of your coaching ability to see if you can unlock him. And listen, I'll give you a name, and I'm not comparing him. And I'm not saying that this is who he is going to turn into, but Akeem Hicks was a very slow starter to his career. Very slow. He was in New Orleans. He got traded to New England. And then he found a home in Chicago. And I don't know, what was it, year 4? And he turned into an all-pro, probably the most underrated player.
I agree.
On the Bears.
Didn't he have a Canadian stint for a year or something like that?
Yeah,
that's where he was in college.
Yeah, college.
College was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drafted out of Salve Regina or some shit.
Yeah.
And then the Saints drafted him. And then he kind of started to shop. And then I agree with you, Shane. That was a good comment. Probably the most underrated Bear is Akeem Hicks.
And one of the best interviews we did ever, unfortunately, wasn't on our airwaves.
Right.
We interviewed Akeem Hicks and Kyle Long on what was our show called back then? I'm totally blanking on it now.
100 Proof.
100 Proof back in the day on the old network. We did a show live with Akeem Hicks and Kyle Long, and that was a shitload of fun.
Yeah, a big, strong, athletic man down at D tackle. I thought he could play anything. 3 tech, nose, head up. He could have played 5 technique as a D end and it's 3-4 front. Play D end. He could do. I thought he was. I'm with you, man. But anyway,
the Regina Rams or Regina Rams.
There you
go. Went to, and then he went to the Omaha Nighthawks in the United Football League. 2013. Yeah, so he was with the Saints. So he came in 2013, and the Bears got him in 2016. Yep. So, and I can remember if you go back, there was a big buildup because I think maybe Detroit was involved with Chicago on signing Akeem Hicks.
Yeah,
there was
because
like
he
a
was
2 or
making a joke.
2
that he
or
was
3
gonna go
weeks.
there, and fans
Yes.
were like, "Don't go there."
There's like a 2 or 3 week window, and we every week on the old network, Phil and I were pounding the table for Akeem Hicks. We're like, no, there's a lot to work with this guy. So yeah.
That's another thing we do is free agent tape breakdowns.
Yep.
As we get into that season as well.
We'll definitely get into that, and we'll have a lot more, but we're gonna wrap it up. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I'm just proud of the coach putting a really good bow on the curtain falling so hard on all of our hearts as it ended like that. I believe that you're proud of your franchise as that coach stands at the podium and answers the questions truthfully. Amazing, putting that life and that heartbeat forward, setting the tone of what's to come, and making potential free agents understand that this is the place you're going to want to come. If you want to win and work and you love the game, I think both Ben and Ryan both said it. I think it was Courtney asked, what do you look for? And they were like, guys that love football. So if you have to question someone's effort in routes and catching, and they might not be long for this football team. Are they?
Right.
And the last thing is, I'm very proud of our fan base understanding. I was expecting, after Caleb was spotted at the hockey game, just after he lost, now he's out going, why isn't he studying the tape? That whole meatball shit. I was expecting that, but for the most part, and it was matched up today by the coach basically telling, and I have said this before, I'll say it again. I tell parents, no winter football, let your kid play another sport or take a break from it, return to it in the spring with flag or whatever, but get away from it. That's a long fucking season. He doesn't need to be going over the tape of what transpired, in it. So to see your quarterback out there, but get the Michael Jackson treatment, as he should, for what he is for this football team moving forward, the standing ovation as the teams went off the field. Thought Greg Braggs did a good job talking about that and how he was proud. So was I, watching them cheer instead of boo. I know my wife even said how that was awesome that the fans recognized the amount of effort that quarterback, that football team put this season, and they were just so close to continuing on, and who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
And nothing's a given, but Caleb Williams, Shane, superstar.
Try telling you. Isaac Man 23 $2 today was much more forceful, thought out polls to me. Yeah, no, I agree. I was, overall polls when he speaks is just kind of bland, but I thought he was a little bit more forceful. But I thought Ben definitely stole the day. And speaking of Ben's, our guy Benjamin Hooper, $4.99 bottom line. If you're hurt or no, you can't give it. 100, keep your ass out of the game. But you have to look at it both ways. Athletes rarely look at it that way. And he understood that Colston Loveland was out and they were short wide receivers because Jade didn't dress. So
I thought it was a mistake, just to be on the record. Did you need Travis Homer? I'm just asking.
Nobody needs Travis Homer. Cygnus $4.99. I was all for drafting a Dunze, but Luther Burden III looks like the top 10 pick. Yeah, he's just so explosive, but he had a huge drop. I'll tell you that.
Shane, I thought they should have put him in as a punt returner on that last punt.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't believe Duvernay fair caught.
Oh my God.
He texted me as well.
Yeah, he had so much room.
T.O. was like, why is he fair? He had so much room.
Yeah. Ben Hooper's back, $4.99. Burden has to be the number one. Rome needs to work on his craft. His drop to me was the biggest turning point of the game. Should have been 7-0. And that's the thing. It's setting the tone. The first drive, third down, touchdown. It ignites Soldier Field coming off, the high of the Cornelison anthem, which, by the way, Phil and I talked about. Speaking to people that were at the game, and I know Big Cat talked about it too. In the stadium, he said that it was just so loud. It didn't project that way on TV at all.
It didn't.
The anthem. I was like, man, it just sounds so. It doesn't sound like it normally did.
I was there with Kerry Franklin for the opener, and it was loud.
Yeah, and it sounded that way.
Oops, sorry.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, here it is. Maserati Marty. Hate that you guys lost people because of your stance on Justin Fields. Iceman is exactly who we thought he was. I'm a fan of TTNL for life. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. That's
Maserati Marty's better than Maserati Mitch. Right?
Much better. Much better.
Y'all tried to collab with JT at all. I think he's talking about JT O'Sullivan.
Nah.
He's doing his own thing, man. He's got his own tape breakdowns on Patreon, so I don't think he's looking to do a collab. We'd love to have him on and interview him because I think we're on the same page in terms of
Someone
accountability.
reach out to him. We'll get him on.
Yeah, we'd love to sit down and have a chat with him.
Up.
Kentucky Bears fan, $4.99 with either Darnold, Stafford in the Super Bowl. Caleb will likely be Pole's first Pro Bowler drafted, making it as an alternate. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well,
Doesn't Darnell Wright get in?
Darnell Wright, yeah, he's the first alternate at right tackle. Second team All-Pro.
Who was the first over him? Lane Johnson?
Probably, yeah.
Just on the rep.
Oh, of course. Well, that's
didn't finish.
Yeah. Welcome to the Pro Bowl. That's how it goes.
I think Caleb will be in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I have very little doubt about that, but we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to get out of here. Like I said, Cars Keys will be live tomorrow night. Phil, are you going? Are you doing the breakdown tomorrow for patrons?
Yeah. Yep.
So that'll be
it'll be
something
up
for you guys to look forward to. We'll get out of here. Like I said, I guess we can close it out one more time with Iceman. If you go to like iTunes or Apple Music, whatever you want to call it now, type in Iceman and it's Luvonn, Luvonn. It'll bring it up. It's available on every music outlet, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get that stuff. It's a dope song. You'll see the cover art is actually a little bit different than the one we have here. He has some ice in the background, but we'll play that on our way out and we'll see you guys. No BHL this week, Claudio.
Can't believe it, Claude.
Yep. We'll see you in July or August when they start playing preseason games again on BHL. But
still was one of the funniest.
Yep. Football season is over, but the work is not done here at TTNL.
Become a patron.
Yes.
TapeNeverLies.com.
Sign up. Get ready for the draft. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Mob's going to be kicking it off. I saw Kerry Franklin already wearing his Draft Mob swag.
He was when he was leaving Chicago. And then there's this guy.
Fuck you, Bullets.
Cairo telling him. All right. We'll see y'all soon.
TTNLswagshop.com.
Go there.
You can get your swag as well.
Get some Iceman swag. Just like this guy.
Iceman swag.
You can't spell cinema without Iceman. The comeback kid for a quarter, you really like that. Through 60-minute time span, never throw the white flag. It's any given Sunday, boy, you know that we gon' strike back. Yeah, you know you can't spell cinema without that ice, man. Look, come back here for a quarter, he really like that. Through 60-minute time spans, never throw the white flag. It's any given Sunday, boy, you know we gon' strike back. Air Jordan with the throws, I love shitting on Green Bay. Marshawn away, drive up the field with my teammates. For peace sake, he stays locked on, pissing off cheesecake. Always do my good, better best, that's what the team say. Running drills, back up in the playoffs, climbing up the hill. Just go ahead and ask my boy Caleb, we tough as nails. We something else, and I be lying, it weren't for Ben. Master of the 3rd and 10, time to go to work again. Like Darth Bird and Packers choked up in the playoffs. You know it starts hurting, cause I'm right like nations. So go enjoy your days, all we good, better best. We greater than y'all, I like my Gouda shredded fresh. And Jordan Love, land the pack, stay a one and done. And check out 84, he's a savage, only 21. Like Montez, we gon' make them all sweat. Remind me of 85, we cold like a man. Business, truly a menace to society, relentless. Running the trenches, he the Lion King offensive. Packers is crying about the rivalry. And this how we put on for shy, the Bears dynasty.